I'm at my website and I'd like to show you how to use Chrome Property Inspector. Now, in order to use the tool, you must be in the web browser Chrome. You can't try this in Internet Explorer or Firefox. So once you've launched Chrome and you've gone to a website that you'd like to learn more about, either one you made or one that you find on the internet, one way to get to the inspector is to just right-click or control-click over an area. So I'm going to do that, and if I get this little menu, and I'm going to look for Inspect Element. When I select that, I see that a whole new area appears at the bottom, and on the left-hand side is the HTML that I use to create this part of the web page, and on the right is the CSS. Now, can you see how I'm kind of flashing highlights above and whenever I hover over the HTML? Well, what's happening is when I hover over the list item, that's highlighted up top. So the area of the web page that this code produces is highlighted. When I go just to the link, it shows the link. And if I go just to this span, it shows just the span content, which is cascading style sheets. That's what's happening when I hover on the left. But I'm also able to see CSS on the right. So let's just, for example, click on this link. And as I look, and I kind of have to scroll down a little bit because I've got this window scrunched up tight, it shows that I have a div with an ID of linked list, and then I have an A tag within that div. Let's see if that's what's really happening. I have the link here, but I'm not seeing the link list 2. So what I like to do is, let's scroll up a little. Oh, look, there's a div with an ID of link list 2. So we have a descendant or contextual selector here. The browser's been told to look for an ID of link list 2 and then an A tag. And here, sure enough, is my link list 2 ID, and here's my A tag. And it's telling it to do certain things. It's telling it to have a certain color and to take the text declaration off because normally it's underlined. So what if I want to change the color of the link? I can do that right now. I can either type in a new color or I can click on this little box. If I click on the box, I can see a whole spectrum of color. Let's say I wanted to try to use a really dark pink. So I come in here and I'm looking for a pink that I think will look good with the lilies, and I try it and it doesn't really show very well up on top of the gray. I could try a lighter pink, but then I can't read it. I could try a darker pink. That's okay, but it's just so cool though to be able to try the different color without having to open up Photoshop to find a color or go into my CSS file. I'm just simulating it here on the web. Now, I want to emphasize simulating. It is showing me what the change will do, but after I close this window, none of the changes stick. So I haven't actually changed the HTML or the CSS. I've just pretended to change it. Okay, let's say I'm just going to go with, I'm trying to get a very white color here, and my window is so small I can't see it. So let's say I'm going to use white. Now, you see how it's highlighted? It may be highlighted, but it's not in the edit mode. So I have to click in there, and now I'm getting white. Now, it was DDD, but I'm going to leave it white for now. Now, in addition to being able to change the CSS and see it instantly, I can change the HTML and see it instantly. So I can go in here, and where it said 50.11c, I could say, wonder what would happen if I put a number sign in front. Do I like that look? Well, let's hit the return key or enter key, and there it puts the number sign. Now I say to myself, I wonder what would happen if I didn't use if instead I typed out the whole word, computer studies. And again, I can either click off of it or hit the enter or return key. And I go, oh gee, I don't like that, it makes it too big. So I can change the HTML, I can change the CSS, I can hover to see what's going on, and when I look at CSS, I am shown where on my actual CSS file this code is located. So I pretended to change this to FFF, but if I want to know where it is in the actual document, right here it'll say 213. That means it's on line 213 of my CSS file. So this makes finding code much easier than having to hunt up and down in a long list of declarations. Make sure you use an HTML editor that will show you line numbers.